Well, hello everyone, this is Jake here with you just out in the shop. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of a tutorial here. I know a lot of you probably wondering how we do the seams, and there may be a lot of newcomers out here, so I just kind of wanted to do a video tonight for, just a quick video on how we do seam work and fixing up gapping issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and show you what I've done so far. Is I've taken some painter's tape, or some masking tape, and masked off just above the sensor lines all the way around the saucer section, and I'm not going to worry about putting any up here because I'm not going to be getting any of the putty up here on top. So what I'm going to do is I've started using this Deluxe Perfect Plastic Putty. It's acrylic and it works well with water. It dries, it goes on smooth. And again, I'm sorry about the noise in the background. I've got my dryer going. But what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about this gap issue here. I've noticed that on this Reliant kit, let me zoom in here a little bit more. This Reliant kit, I've noticed on the last three that I've built, there's been gapping issues here on the back side of it. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. I mean, I lined up the front end perfectly and got everything nice and square, and it still has a little bit of a gapping issue right here on the back side around the it's always going to be right here around the shuttle bay, above the shuttle bays, and above right there by the impulse crystal and the impulse engines. So what I'm going to do is hang on a second, let me drop my remote. Clumsy tonight, but what I'm going to do to fix this is and I'll do this off camera, but what I'll do is I've got some of this. I went and bought a good fix for this is the 04.040 0.188 strip styrene, and this stuff works really well. So what I'm going to do, cut this open real quick and get a piece out and just kind of show you what's going on a little bit. So what I'm going to do is there's a little piece I've got to shave off. What I'll do is I'll just take my file and just file it right nice, just take my little hobby file. You can get these little files at Walmart for $4 a pack. It comes very different different shapes, round, triangle, whatnot, but these come in very handy for very small work like what's right here. If you see that little lip right there, we'll just take our file and give it a good amount of pressure, and it'll file itself away. There you go. Now it's all taken care of, and I might be able let me file just a little bit more of it down. There we go. Now it's nice and square. So now what I'll do is I'll take this piece of strip styrene and I'll lay it across here, and I'll do the same thing as I'll measure. I'm gonna have to do the same thing on all three sides of this, and then probably a little bit right here, stuff a little piece right down inside here, but I'll lay 3 pieces of it right here to where it's covering this gap. And then what I'll do is I'll just take my Dremel tool or a file and just sand it down smooth, and we'll have that gap issue fixed. And then you won't even know it's there once we putty it and get it all painted and everything, and you won't know it's there. So I'll do that off camera. But what I'm going to do here is take my my plastic putty, and like I said, you can get this stuff at your harbor store, your model store, but you just put a little bit down here on either side of this. Like I said, this stuff works. It's acrylic, so it works real nice. So I'm going to put a little bit on my finger, and I'm just going to start applying it. This is a little dry, but once you get it on, it'll dry. It'll dry real smooth and it sands out really nice. Squeeze a little more out, and then we'll go to let me zoom out just a little bit, and we'll get this put on. Now I'm not too worried about it right in here because of the fact that the pylons and the roll bar is going to sit there. So I'm just going to make my way down, making sure we get enough on the model. Let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see. So I'm just going to wipe it on real nice and smooth, just try to get it and you may have to do this a couple of times to get it level. What I do first is I go through and sand down my edges, make sure that they're all level, you know, and flush, and then I just take my putty and just gently smooth it across, wipe it on, and don't worry about, you know, the holes here for the RCS thrusters. We'll get those back. We'll just take out a drill, you know, and a pin vise and smooth them, you know, drill them back out. But it's pretty simple, folks, on this. For those of you who are new and starting out and doing this, it may take a couple of times to do it, to get it right to the way you want it to be. And don't be in a rush to do this either, guys. If you're, like I said, if you're just starting out, you want to make sure you take your time and just go slowly, work it over really well, and then just go back through and wipe off the top. This stuff will clean off with water. This perfect plastic putty is acrylic, so it will wash off with water. This is my client. If you're wondering, this is my client Ed Lamb's Reliant. I just thought while I was doing this, I'd do a quick video for y'all and tell you how I do things and how you can do it pretty easily without, you know, having any major issues with it. Like I said, if you're just starting out with building models and stuff like that, and you're getting into doing a lot of detail work, don't rush into it. Take your time. What I do is I have to, sometimes things start, these models, I will tell you right now, you will get frustrated with them. Sometimes they don't go together right, and so you may have to, you know, walk away from them a little bit, come back, think about it, and, you know, pick up where you left off. But it takes a little bit of work to get these models, you know, right. And if you do mess up on it, don't worry about it. It's just a model. It's only plastic. It's not gonna, you know, if you mess up on it, you know, it's fixable. So, okay, we're gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna go off camera and fix this little area back here by the impulse grills. Fix this gapping issue right here, and we'll come back. We'll come back with another. We'll come back here just a little bit to show you the results of it. So we'll be right back, guys. Long time for me, short time for you guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. I now have the little back section here done, and it didn't take me too terribly long. Let me zoom in and show you what I've done, so if I can't keep it in shot here. Alright, so what I did here is I just took some that strip styrene and ran it around the bottom, you know, the edge of this, and got it nice and, you know, got it all nice and leveled out, got it straightened up to where it needs to be. So now what I'll do is I'll just take some putty and fill that in. Now I still got to do just a little bit of sanding here, but I'll make it to where it's all nice and level here later on. So that's it, you know, really much it, guys. You know, I still have quite a bit of work to do on this. I've got the nacelles and the nacelles and stuff together. Gonna have to do a little bit of repainting. Let me zoom out. Like I said, I'm not doing a whole lot on this video, you know, this video build series, because of the fact that, you know, I did one for my client John. Basically the same thing. All I'm doing now is just kind of taking you through and showing you just a little bit about what to do in the way of putting on you know, the tape and putting on the putty and stuff like that, to where it's not going to get, you know, where it's not going to get too much on either side of that. And we'll get this sanded down nice and flat and repainted and whatnot. Going to have to do some touch up around the edge of it, but I'll come back in with another video of it later, guys. Like I said, I've gotten the nacelle and pylons together, got the wires all togethered up and wired together, and it works now. I got the paint cracked here on me a little bit, probably due because of the weather. So what I'm going to have to do is I sanded it down with some 150 grit sandpaper here, just lightly, and then I took some 800, you know, 600 and then 800, and now it's all nice and smooth. So I just have to take this back off, because this is my flux chiller grill. Don't want to get too much paint on that. So, but we'll get this, you know, sanded off and fixed and put back on, and then we'll get ready to start Aztecing, you know, laying the Aztecing down on this. So this one's coming along, guys. So, but like I said, this is just kind of a how-to video, real quick. Nothing too important here on this, but just, you know, figured I'd do this for some of the newcomers out there that have maybe just getting started in the modeling community. You know, there's lots of people have doing things differently, so don't just check out, you know, don't just take my word for it. You know, you can you know, check out everybody else's channel too, to kind of get your own ways and figure out how to do things, you know, the way you like it. So but anyway, that's it for now, guys. We'll keep you updated on this. I'll do, you know, probably a couple other. I know I had a client, a buddy of mine, wanted to know how I lay down the decals here. So what I'll do is I'll take you through on, you know, when I get ready to start doing the decals on this, I'll show the process. I've already got this gloss coated, so that's the first process, and then we'll go through and, you know, do a step-by-step on how to do other, you know, the rest of it. So until then, guys, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you again. Happy modeling, everybody.